If you want to build a business with AI that could stand the test of time, I'm going to make you one big promise. You need to stop selling AI agents and start selling AI operating systems. You need to stop thinking of yourself as an AI developer and start thinking of yourself as an AI orchestrator. Just like music orchestrators need to have all of their instruments working together, so do you as the AI agency orchestrator. And that's where operating systems come into play. You see, the person that can grab the newest AI tools, newest AI workflows, and apply them to the real world is the most powerful type of person in 2026. But the person that can grab the newest tools and apply it to real businesses and show businesses how they're actually using these systems is the most wealthy type of person in 2026. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the AI operating system business model that I've been running for the past few months, and it has absolutely exploded my business, and it is a $1 trillion opportunity. And today we're getting very, very tactical. We're getting into each revenue stream and how you can go from an AI beginner to an AI operating system operator in just a couple of days. So if you're watching this and you truly have the ability to understand how AI works, and you're maybe even already good at building AI agents, this by far is the best opportunity for you. Now, this video is a two-part series. In part one, which is the video you're watching right now, I'm going to explain at a high level how AI operating systems are eating AI agencies alive. And after announcing this whole AI operating system concept just at the beginning of July, a bunch of our AI influencer competitors have literally copied the exact thing that we are talking about. And instead of getting upset about this, or instead of getting any type of negative feeling about this, that is the most validating feeling. And in this video, and more importantly in this slideshow, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly why this is the greatest opportunity that I've seen in my time in AI. So let's dive right in. AI operating systems are eating AI agencies. So the first hot take that I have here, guys, is that every business and every creator will have an AI operating system in the next 18 to 24 months. Now, why is this the case? Well, if AI is going to continue to evolve at this rapid pace, that means all of the software tools that people are using right now are all going to condense into one system, one AI operating system. So each business has their own set of requirements or their own set of workflows that would benefit them. And your job as the AI agency owner or the AI orchestrator is to explain and deliver these systems. You are handing the shovels to the new world of diggers in this AI economy. Now, at a high level, guys, what is an AI operating system? So an AI operating system is basically just AI agents plus AI automations plus AI services all in one clean, sexy app. Another way to think about it is imagine every single AI agent that you've ever built on N8N, on make.com, maybe some other ones if you have been in the game for a while, and you put all of those workflows into one simple system. And it doesn't just have to be the agents, it could also be APIs, it could also be entire workflows that are done for the client on their behalf, and it all results into one beautiful operating system. If you guys want to see my AI operating system and what that's about, I'm going to talk a little bit about it today, but if you want the full in-depth video of Creator OS, then just watch the video down below. Now, what is the 6 income streams of AI operating systems, and why are we so excited about this? So the first thing we want to talk about here, guys, is that once you build your AI operating system, you're going to be able to essentially give it to other people or sell it to other people in multiple ways. You're also going to be able to use the system you built for your own workflows or for your clients' workflows. So that's why I'm so excited to share this with you, because people don't understand that there's literally 6 income streams that come from this. So the first one we want to talk about, though, is AI enterprise sales. So our direct competitors have thousands of clients, and all of those clients are marketing agencies. Now, these marketing agencies, if we think about where AI is going, are soon going to be able to build their own software. And so what I already did to get ahead of this was I built Creator OS. And now I can sell that entire software to marketing agencies or to brands or to software companies that want to scale on social. These are things that people are already using and you're giving it to them, right? So instead of them continuing to use it, you're just giving it to them, and then they can vibe code on top of it. So if you give them the software stack and you show them how to build, then they can go into it. But we're going to get into that a little bit more. Now, the next one is AI services. So our AI service, and I made a whole video on the whole AI service industry, but our AI service is done for you marketing and done for you outbound messaging as the main primary things. And so when a client signs up to the AI services, we then use our AI operating system to conduct those services. That does a couple of things for us. That makes us understand our business model better. That makes us understand our clients' demands better. And it shows us what are the bottlenecks or what are the things we need to improve. Now, AI consulting currently takes up 10% of the pie, but this is depending on how you design your business model. We have AI consulting in a way that after we sell the operating system or we do our enterprise sales, chances are people still need consulting, or they're going to have questions, or they're going to run into errors. And so in this way, we are increasing our lifetime value, and we're increasing the chance or the likelihood of our clients actually succeeding, because we're going to be giving them consulting services on top of delivering them the entire software. So that's the third. The fourth is just personal brand growth. This is like YouTube revenue, sponsorship revenue, but this I don't really care about because this is what's generating all of the leads for me. So we actually don't care about the revenue that's being generated here. We just want to be generating a bunch of leads and growing the personal brand. And the faster that we grow the personal brand, the easier it is to sell once again, because I'm using the operating system once again to grow the personal brand. And so when someone's interested in how I built the personal brand, or how I built the business, or how I do YouTube, or how I do school, then I can just show them every single time. I just show them the operating system. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is that the world itself is getting quite educated, especially with the ability of just learning anything right now. So a lot of people are actually going to be able to take what you're giving them and run with it. And so having an AI education type of system in place where people can come in, get their questions answered, and you can give them resources is another serious stream of income. And this other page leads us to the next slide. So this next slide's a little bit of a bonus where I think things are going in the next 5 years for us. And so on our side, right, since we've already built this marketing engine, we actually want to start building internal businesses. And so that's why I set it up as other, because, dealing with a bunch of clients in AI services and AI consulting, it's fun, but it can be overwhelming, and you don't reap all of the rewards from your performance. If we just spin up a bunch of brands like e-commerce brands, other software companies and shit like that, we're going to be able to just power the marketing engine through it and keep all of the revenue from it, and use it as the proof of work to sell more enterprise sales and stuff like that. Now, before we continue, guys, you may have some questions at this point if you're new. So I just want to give you a quick rundown of like what my niche is and how it's evolved. So after building, multiple software projects for AI clone marketing, another one was for like AI, marketing analysis, and then another one was for posting content on socials. I put all of those software projects together, and that gave birth to Creator OS. Now, Creator OS has some competitors that are doing pretty big numbers. So Hootsuite and Sprout Social are at the top of our industry right now, and they're worth around like $500 to $1 billion, but they're losing a lot of market share because of teams like us that are able to disrupt it. So the target market for me is evolving quite rapidly. And it first started off as just creating stuff that I found value in myself. So it was a niche of one, which was I was already a marketer. I was already creating content, and I wanted to build a system to make that experience easier for myself. And then through that process and through that iteration, I was able to land on Creator OS, and it's been really, really awesome. Now, my target market is kind of evolving. And this is why I added this, descending triangle or this funnel, because I'm actually going what's called broad to narrow. I'm making content that, a lot of people would be interested in. And then as they start to come down the funnel, the things that they're going to be watching are going to be more aligned to the sale that I'm trying to close. And in this sense, it's either joining the academy or trying to buy the Creator OS operating system or trying to have us as your AI services client. So in a nutshell, though, my ideal target market is a content creator, entrepreneur, or e-commerce brand on the internet that wants to scale. Very simple. To answer what niche I think you should build genuinely is kind of tough to answer, but if you have domain expertise, so if you have any expertise in any industry, that is where I recommend starting out with. So if you're a doctor, maybe building a doctor operating system. If you're blue collar, maybe building a blue collar operating system, because it does two things. You hit two birds with the same stone here. You're using your expertise to scale your own business or your current existing clients' businesses, but then you're also building some intellectual property, aka software that you can sell in the future. So it's win-win in that sense. And regardless, if you try and build in a niche that you have expertise in, the worst case that can happen is that you're going to learn. So that's fine. We're going to talk about each and income stream at length. So the first one we're going to talk about here, guys, is AI enterprise sales. And I'm going to give you guys 5 different examples. So if this was an AI operating system for a gym, I used to run a gym in Miami, and if I had this AI knowledge, I would have built an AI operating system for the gym. Why would this be powerful? Well, it would help me generate leads. It would help me close sales. It would help me keep track of all of the clients, all of the personal training people, and all that fun stuff. That's number 1. Number 2 is we get to save all of the software costs from paying other CRM services. So if you're using Go High Level, if you're using, HubSpot, if you're using Salesforce, all of these software tools can actually be, you can just get rid of them. And so that's the second point. Now, the third point is if you build an AI operating system for gyms, it starts working for yourself. All of a sudden, you can start selling this AI operating system as an enterprise sale to these different gym services, to these different gym clients. And so easy business model in this sense, if you have the domain expertise. Let's go into models, right? So models, whether that's OnlyFans, whether that's, actual like girls on Vogue, whether that's, low level modeling, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You really want to show this type of client is you want to help them get to where they're going. And so what are models looking for? They're looking for, new sponsorships. They're looking for, social growth. And so, building a AI agent system that sends DMs to all of the fashion companies every single day, and then, following that up with emails, following that up with, outbound phone agents, and then building a marketing operating system to help that model scale on socials. All of a sudden, you've now built an end-to-end OS for this type of person. And so, this can get very dynamic because then you can bring these models in-house, you can train them, and you can build your own, model agency and then use that as the proof of work. Law firms is quite boring because there's a lot of personalized data. But if you're really good in that sense of, keeping people's data, very, very local and safe and, doing things from that, there's tons of automations that spawn from this. And ironically, in the law firm industry, this was one of the first AI tools that actually went viral. I think they ended up selling for like 750 million because of this, right? So being able to essentially grab all of your clients' data, put it into, some type of RAG database, and then having, an AI agent to break down the case and help your clients in the way that they want to be helped. Or there's so many different ways you can go about law firms. Events, right? So events is really fun because you're going to not only have an impact on the success of an event, but it's repeatable and scalable. If you are good at talking to people, if you're a people person, then something like building an OS for events would be absolutely incredible. And last but not least, blue collar as well, right? So the beautiful thing about blue collar is that you could do roofing and then niche down. And then you could do plumbing and then niche down. And each one of these industries can be their own standalone business model. So that's income stream number 1, enterprise sales. And if you're asking how much we sell Creator OS for in this enterprise sale, we started off at 1,500 and now we're up to 5,000 a year for the enterprise sales because we are improving upon the project. So the last thing I wanted to talk about here, guys, is let's say I sell an AI operating system to this gym. They're going to be still concerned because they're like, oh, you're just going to sell us this software and then you're going to disappear. What happens if, AI gets better or you add things to your software and we want those additions? That's why you also can charge recurring. So that's one last thing I wanted to knock home there with income stream number 1. Now, income stream number 2, guys, AI as a service. Now, I have a whole video on this called the business model that's making people new millionaires in 2026. It's this industry, so the AI as a service. So the services industry as a whole is something like 3 trillion. And, software never had any involvement in it. You needed a cameraman, you had to pay someone for it. You needed an editor, you need to pay someone for it. The list goes on and on. But with the way that these workflows are evolving, building AI as a service is very lucrative, right? So these are, instead of entire industries like enterprise sales, these are actually specific workflows that you can monetize. So let's say that your e-commerce, let's say that you built an operating system for e-commerce sales. So e-commerce sales, right? Let's think about what a e-commerce brand is. It's a brand that's typically ran on the internet, probably on Shopify, and their margins are their products and their, shipping, their goods sold, whatever. So once you identify what their margins are and what is their go-to-market strategy, you can literally just build a system around their product and they don't really have to do anything, right? So what we're working on really intensely right now is building marketing systems that our clients don't have to touch. So like if this was a physical product and they shipped us the physical product, we can then just create content on their behalf at scale. Same thing with software, right? So if a company came out with a new software app and they wanted help gaining new signups, well, we can just build 10 new social platforms and then put the marketing through there. So like they don't even need to be involved at all. And what this does for us is it helps us improve what we're working on, right? While getting paid for it and showing our clients the results from our work. So it hits a lot of birds with the same stone because you're improving your workflow, you're generating cash flow for your client, and you're generating leverage. So the last part that I want to talk about here is leverage. So let's talk about any one of these examples, right? So let's bring in the community growth example. So let's say an AI operating system came to me and they said, Kev, we see you have the No Code Academy. You're at 220 members on, the paid and 2,000 on the free. What if I can get you to, 4,000 free and 400 paid, right? I would be very interested in that. Now, what if they then said, I will do that, and you don't have to do anything, right? I would be even more interested. Now, let's say I go ahead and I agree to this deal, and then they actually deliver on what they promised. All of a sudden, the tables shift and they have the power because they just generated all of that new business for me. And they didn't necessarily teach me how. So this is going to be a nice little segue into number 3 here, which is AI consulting. But I hope this is starting to kind of hit home here. And this little graphic here is kind of another way for you to wrap your mind around this. So you're literally just going to use your system, deliver results, and scale. If we go back to enterprise sales, you're going to build your system, sell, and repeat. Now, before we head into slide number 3, I just want to dial a little bit further in with the AI service agency and the advantages of it. So the first thing here, guys, is that once you develop a winning AI workflow, you don't touch it. You only evolve it. Meaning, if there's a new AI model or there's a new update from the tools that you're using, you could just, improve upon it. But once you have a winning AI workflow, you're good to go and literally launch your AI service agency. So that's one advantage. The second advantage is that it's instantly service deliverable. So like if someone were to pay us for marketing automations, we already have the system to just do that. So why do we have to, do any other type of business model when we can just do this, right? Because we are delivering the service. So the client is not going to be asking us to, build more software. The client's not going to be really asking us too much other than delivering. And the last point here is tied back to the high leverage that you're going to be having here, right? Because as you start delivering, your prices can go up, your client relationship improves. You can, start generating dynamic pricing structures so you can start earning a percentage of their revenue instead of a retainer. You can do a result-based pricing. So it's like, if I bring your academy to 400 members, then you pay me X. And then if they agree to it and then that happens, boom. All right. Let's move on to income stream number 3 here. So income stream number 3 is AI consulting. And I actually want to start with the graphics. So in the graphics here, you're essentially either going to build something, AKA your operating system, generate a sale, and then consult them about their operating system. Or you're immediately going to sell AI consulting. So someone sees your content or they see a lead and then they're just already so advanced that they're going to need to just ask you questions. And so both of these models work. Obviously, AI consulting, you're getting paid hourly, right? So it's not something that is infinitely scalable unless you have a coaching team. So, when you're generating cash flow, this is great. What I currently use it for is to improve the likelihood of the success of my operating system clients. So if someone were to buy number 1, if they were to purchase income stream number 1, and then they end up having questions, that is what I currently use AI consulting for, because previously, and this is just speaking from experience, like this summer, I was way too overwhelmed with the amount of consulting that I had to do, and that got in the way of my progress. So, there's a little bit of, give and take here, but when you're first starting out, it's one of the easier ways to get your foot in the door. And another point here that I want to dive into is if you know people in real life, or if your clients are, in person, showing things to them, like without even having to sell, just showing things to them that directly impact their type of business is the easiest way to generate rapport. And it's the easiest way to get a client to trust you. Because I'm going to be making a whole video on this called like the AI sales cheat code or whatever. But essentially in a nutshell, it's like everyone's kind of skeptical of AI, which makes sense because it's not, it's not just like the iPhone. You don't just like, it's not just like the same for everybody, right? So people have to learn, people have to, see where they can find advantages in it. But if you're already the AI orchestrator and you just show up, you show them something sick, the next time that they actually need something to do with AI, they're going to call you, bro. All right, let's get on to number 4. Income stream number 4 is something that I wouldn't even consider an income stream. I'd consider this as like your dojo, where you're going to be evolving and honing your craft while building an audience for yourself. So this is AI personal branding. So you're going to be using your operating system as your marketing engine. So this can generate some revenue streams, right? Like YouTube or Twitter, or, whatever, but you shouldn't really care about that, right? Like views, in another way to think about views, is it's a form of currency, it's attention. And so like that is really the game that you're playing. I'd rather you focus on generating attention, high quality attention, than generating money from personal branding. So the graphic is really just build, right? There's nothing other than that, because the game never really ends in AI personal branding. You're never done evolving as a person. So like this is essentially all you have to do. If you think about it, AI personal branding is like the key once you build your operating system, obviously, but this is the key to unlocking literally everything. So the one question you want to ask yourself is, what type of personal branding best suits my skill set? And so if you're good with words, if you're able to get in front of a camera, then I would absolutely recommend video. But a lot of people may not be, comfortable with that. So then you still have options for video, because there's now AI clones. So if you're really good at copywriting, I would still recommend, generating a clone of yourself so that you can use the clone to create content. If you don't want to do that and you're still good at, spoken word, then podcasting would be your next best bet. And then written word on LinkedIn, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, email, cold email, stuff like that. And the list kind of goes down. Each one of the things that I just spoke about fundamentally could be an operating system. So like I work with an email operating system because that's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on marketing and outbound social media growth. Like that's really the core. And then, there's some more to get into there, but that's really where we're at right now. And so I want you to decide right now, like literally decide right now, what is the best AI personal branding for you? And that'll help lead you into the next step. All right, cool guys. So let's get into AI education. So the world is getting smarter really fast. And sometimes people just need the tools and time to build what they want. Like myself included, before going all in on AI, I was not a developer. I was just a marketer. And I actually never needed a community. I never needed a school to, teach me this stuff, because I just, self-taught. I'm not trying to sound like a dick here. I'm just saying that some people just need the tools. And so considering AI education as your top of funnel could be very powerful. So let's say you built an AI operating system for gyms, or for blue collar, or for marketers, or for e-commerce. Building a free community top of funnel, or even a paid community top of funnel, will help show you, like I'm turning my viewers into warm leads, or I'm turning my viewers into low ticket clients, and that will get the ball rolling. From there, you can, learn more about your client and what they need. And in this way, you're going to be able to evolve your operating system faster as well, because literally asking your exact target market what they want is the easiest way to find out what they want. Like I know, right? It's rocket science. I do want to say though, that there is one massive silver lining inside of this AI education slide here. And that's that it forces you to stay on the cutting edge of AI. So I'm constantly having to update my knowledge on AI so that I can continuously keep up the momentum of my community and educate my community faster and better than my competition. It's very hard to do in reality. And sometimes I even need a break from work because of this. And so AI model that can actually tell you exactly what's going to convert on organic social media. So essentially, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to build here is a world-class AI marketer that doesn't sleep. And this opens the door to building hundreds of brands in different niches quite quickly, or scaling communities, or scaling software, etc. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to get into how to become an AI orchestrator and build an AI operating system, but this is just the high level. Like in the next video in this 2-part series, we're going to go into my AI operating system because I'm giving it away to all of you. So if you're in the academy, you're literally going to get your own operating system to fork and start from scratch, but you need to just, So the way to think about what I'm going to show you right now is you just need to understand this. And in the next video, we're going to apply it. So to become an AI orchestrator and to build a high-level AI operating system, you need to think about what is inside of the operating system. And inside of the operating system is productized AI services. So what's a productized AI service? It's a workflow that grabs a script and then turns it into a video and then edits the video and then uploads it to social. It's a lead scrape that then sends connection requests on LinkedIn, sends DMs to those LinkedIn connections, and then books them on a call. It's running ads and then scraping the engagement from those ads and then having another AI agent to send DMs to the people that engaged on those ads. These are examples of winning AI productized services. And so the best way to think about this is if you already have a winning process without AI, and then you add AI agents to it, that is a winning AI process. So if I was already creating videos at a high level and there was no AI involved, and then I replaced myself with AI, that is a productized AI service. All right, so now let's get into the step-by-steps here. I have a 30-day program in the academy that shows you literally, if you've never built your first automation, how to build the simplest automation to what I call level 5 automations. And then we have a 7-day program that takes you from not starting your AI operating system to launching your AI operating system. So those materials are in the classroom, but if you are capable to just take this information right here and learn, we're just going to dive into it. So the first thing we want to talk about here is that you need to master AI tools. Now, I'm not talking ChatGPT. I'm talking N8N, Claude Code, Make, Cursor, all of that fun stuff. Once you develop an understanding of these, you want to start mastering the workflows that can be created from them. And so that's mainly going to be an N8N when you're first starting out because it's the simplest drag and drop interface while also delivering, insane agent automations. After you do that, we actually want to understand no-code development. So you want to get into the code a little bit and actually build something, because after you master these workflows, you need to put these workflows into some type of software like on Cursor or on Replit or something like this. Once you have the first 3 steps here, you can literally start creating your productized service, and then you can automate it and go to market. Now, we already spoke about this in one of our previous videos, but I just want to talk about the, opportunity here in the macro, and that is a $4 trillion opportunity. So as it stands right now in 2025, digital marketing is a $1 trillion industry. Finding talent is a $1 trillion industry. Customer support is $100 billion. AI SaaS, $400 billion. Business consulting, $350 billion. And AI agencies, $20 billion. And all of this is being consumed by AI operating systems, right? So you get to kind of decide and pick where you want to dive into. And so like, if you were to think about where I'm diving into mainly, it's right here in digital marketing, right? But there's like a whole operating system that finds the best talent in the world. So you can go do that. There's a whole operating system that helps people with customer support, inbound agents, calling phone numbers, and all that fun stuff too. But yeah, guys, so that's part 1 of the AI operating system business model. In part 2, we're going to literally go into the code. We're going to fork the code base, and I'm going to show you step by step how you can build and launch your own operating system. See you guys in the next one.